Hello and welcome back to Mad Mouse Games. Today I'm going to be painting the Pizza Dungeon Animatronics from the Reaper Bones 5 Kickstarter, the fan favorite expansion. Now, with these miniatures, I've been doing a lot of looking into like non-metallic painting, which basically is taking white, black, and maybe one other color and just painting a miniature to give it the illusion of being metallic, when really you just painted it with acrylic paints or oil-based paints or whatever kind of paints you want to. And before I started trying to do that, I wanted to see what it would look like if you layered just metallic paint mixed with acrylic paint and kind of layering it on there. So this first coat that I'm putting on, I mixed a black with a metallic, and then I put that on all the Pizza Dungeon animatronics. And then my plan was to then put on just a straight layer of metallic paint as sort of a first highlight, and then a second highlight with a little bit of white mixed into the metallic paint to see how it would work out with maybe a white finish on just the edges as an edge highlight to really make some of the surfaces pop. Now, this was something that was interesting to do. I found that mixing the black and the metallic together actually ended up doing a really nice base coat and wasn't too bad. But later on in the experiment, when I was using the white mixed with the metallic, it did not go so well. So right now, I'm painting just like kind of the balls, sockets, and things like that, a black color so that it's a little bit different. And one thing I really like about these miniatures is that they are basically all metallic. And so they were really fast and easy to paint and end up looking pretty good. So I was able to get 4 models done in, I think, about an hour. By the time I was done painting this big guy, the little ones would be dry, and by the time I had finished painting the 3 little ones with little highlights and things, the big one was dry and I was able to work on it. So I did a little bit of black into like some of the recessed areas and things like that on this miniature. But for the most part, it's basically all metallic paints. So let me talk a little bit about mixing your metallic paints. One thing that I found was, again, mixing it with black actually looked pretty good, and then putting on just a first straight metallic highlight honestly didn't make that much of a difference tone-wise, but it did look pretty good and wasn't quite so bad. However, mixing the white paint with the metallic paint just did not go well for whatever reason. Instead of being a metallic look, it kind of ended up more like a light, dulled down wasn't that great looking, unfortunately. And so, with this experiment, I kind of figured out that layering your metallics is rough when you're mixing it with acrylic paints. I think if that was something you wanted to do, you'd have to buy several different metallic paints. Like you could get like a dark steel one, and then maybe just like a steel or an ironish color, and then maybe like an aluminum or something like that. And those 3 different colors of paint you might be able to kind of layer on like you would your acrylic paints when you're doing highlights. But for these, it didn't look as good as if I had probably tried to do all non-metallic metal painting. That's something that I'm going to try in an upcoming video. For this Halloween, I'm going to be releasing a video where I'm planning on painting one of the scarecrows from the Reaper Bones 5 core set and doing its scythe with a non-metallic metal as my first try. So look forward to that video. I'll probably link this video to that one when it comes out, but for the most part, this wasn't too bad to do, and in the end, it did end up looking really good, I thought. It's simple to just slap metallics all over these, add some black in the little recesses and things, and then add just a little bit of white as a highlight. So let's talk about adding the white highlight at the very end real quick. So actually, right here you can see this is kind of the dulled down white mixed with metallic-y paint, and as you can see, it kind of ended up more gray than actually metallic-y looking. And it didn't really add like a shiny highlight, it added more of like a dulled down highlight. And so if you're looking to dull down the metal, doing that might be a good idea, but like I said, it didn't make it more shiny like I was hoping. However, doing a white edge highlight on some of the higher up areas ended up looking really nice on these miniatures. I also put it on just the edges of the blades just to see what it would look like, and it added a lot to the miniatures. And for speed painting these and then getting 4 done in about an hour, I thought it was pretty nice just to do a little white highlight here at the end. So here's me putting the little eyeballs on and then just highlighting some of the very edges around his eyes, bringing the focus up there to his eyes and his face more than anything else. And then I did some of the white on kind of the back and the edges, and it just ended up looking, the white highlight really helped to make it look better than it was looking. Because after I'd done the last highlight, I knew it wasn't going to be enough. So adding just a little bit of the white here really brought a pop to these miniatures. So this miniature in the end, like I said, doing all 4 of them took about an hour to do. It was just a nice little fun thing to paint up real quick so I could put it down and make it tabletop worthy to put down in front of my players. So just look forward to doing more things like this. I plan on in the future, because there was a whole bunch of kobolds that came in the core set. I think there's something like 24 of them. I'll be doing a big, long speed painting on how to do kind of like batch miniatures. Here you can see how nicely the white kind of highlighted some of these areas that were higher up, specifically on his eyeballs, the top of some of the metal parts. But you can also see kind of how the white mixed with the metallic made it not very reflective and shiny and kind of dulled down. So if that's the look you're going for, mix white. If you're looking for a shinier one, you're going to have to mix probably a lot of black in the beginning with your metallic in order to make it look more shiny when you end up putting just the straight metallic on it. And honestly, painting all these miniatures was pretty easy, and they all ended up looking pretty good. On these little guys, I really like doing the edge highlight on just the edges of their blades with that white. I thought it brought a really nice little pop to them. They're nothing too fancy, but it's something that you put it down on the table in front of your players and they're going to know what it is. If you like this video, please leave a like, and if you want to see more of the stuff I paint, subscribe so you can see that stuff in the future. And thanks for watching. Hope you all have a wonderful day.